Hi, I'm Pam from AccuQuilt, and I'm here today to help you to make this beautiful quilt called Electric Parade. Isn't it great? It uses a square and a square, it uses chisels, half square triangles, drunkard's path. We'd like to thank Timeless Treasures for their use of fabric in our beautiful quilt today. So let's talk about this beautiful quilt and how we're going to make this block. Well, first of all, we're going to use our Go Cube 6-inch cube and the Go 6-inch cube companion. It's a great way to mix and match all of those blocks together. We're going to use a total of 8 dies, 4 from the cube and all 4 from the companion set. So even though you have the 6-inch cube, you can make, look at this beautiful block, 12-inch finished block. Isn't that great? So you don't always have to make a 6-inch square when you're using the 6-inch cube. You can build it out to be a bigger sized finished block. We're going to use 2 of the dies today to show you how to cut fabric with our Go fabric cutter. So first we're going to talk about half square triangles. You'll notice that we have two-tone foam. The two-tone foam shows you where you're going to lay the fabric in order to cut it with our Go fabric cutter. So the first thing I want to make sure you know is that the lengthwise grain of the fabric needs to travel back and forth through the machine. The reason is that lengthwise grain is really tight, and so you get an accurate cut every single time. You're going to notice with our Go fabric cutting system, you can cut 90% faster than with rotary cutters or scissors. So 90% faster. Think of how many more quilts you can make. So if I'm going to cut my half square triangles today, what I've done is I've just measured the width of the shape, added 1/4 inch, just rough cut a piece of fabric, and I'm going to fan fold this fabric over the shape. But in order to make sure that I get the lengthwise grain, here's my salvage edge. I want to take this label, turn it to my belly. I want that salvage edge away from me, and I can fan fold up to 6 layers of fabric right over the shape. Okay? Then I'm going to take my cutting mat, my 6x6 cutting mat, which is included both in the cube and the companion set. Lay my fabric cutter open like this. You want to make sure that it's a good height for you. This is a great height for me. This table's nice and sturdy so the machine doesn't wobble. Take my die and I'm just going to run it through the fabric cutter. Look how easy that is. Now, when it comes on the other side, this is really important. It's kind of a great tip. If I lift this cutting mat up, all the pieces fly everywhere. Trust me, I know. So you want to slide that mat off and then just pull away the fabric. Ta-da! Perfect half square triangles. You'll also notice with our half square triangles that we've cut off the dog ears for you. So this right here is a perfect 1/4 inch seam. Isn't that brilliant? So in addition to our half square triangles today, we need to cut some chisels. So this is the chisel die that is found in the 6-inch companion set. You can also find it in all of our other companion sets for 8, 9, and 12-inch finished blocks. It's really important to know that when you're cutting chisels, they're directional. The fabric has to be stacked one on top of each other rather than fan folded like I did for our half square triangles. The reason is the chisels have to go a specific way. So this allows you to cut them the specific way that they need in order to be the correct way in the quilt. So what I've done is I have my label. I'm going to put it up my belly. Now I've just kind of rough cut some fabric here. It's 2.5 by 6 inches wide. Again, I just measured the shape on the die board, added 1/4 inch around each side. Now this is kind of a slick trick. Watch this. I've taken the right sides of my fabric together and I'm going to lay it lengthwise grain. But look, I'm covering the shape on the die board, not on the die board. Just cover that shape. That's why you have that two-tone foam. So remember, I can cut up to 6 layers of cotton fabric every time. So there's 2 right there. I have 2 more. Again, look, I've made sure that the right sides are together. I'm just going to lay it right here on top. And finally, 6 layers, lay it right here. So this shows you that you make sure that you cover the shape, not on the die board. Then I'm going to place my cutting mat on top. Now last time we cut this direction, let's cut the other way. The machine cuts both directions. So look at our fabric cutter. It's just easy to use. You just turn the handle. Again, remember that tip. You're going to slide that mat off. Don't lift. Pull back just a little bit of fabric that's left. And ta-da, perfect chisels. So you can see that I've cut them and now they're going the correct direction. Isn't that great? So let's show you how simple it is to add those half square triangles to our chisel shape. So I'm going to take my half square triangles that I cut. I'm going to put right sides together. Look, we cut off those dog ears, even on that chisel shape. So now this is a perfect 1/4 inch seam. Then I'm going to pin it. I'm a big pinner. And I'm going to do the other one because once I get them all pinned, then I can chain stitch. So again, right sides together. Going to line it up here where we've cut off those dog ears. Perfect 1/4 inch seam. Pin it again. And here we go. So I'm just going to sew right here along my 1/4 inch seam allowance. Now quilters, this is not only a great way to use your scraps, but maybe if you have a charm pack or some other fabric layer cakes that you want to use, for sure you can use those charm packs every time you cut on our 6-inch cube with our half square triangles. So bust your stash, get you some fabric, use your pre-cuts, whatever you'd like to do. So now I'm going to take out my pins. And look how great this looks. Iron. Do the other one. Look how easy and fast that was. So now you can continue to build your blocks. You would use your signature block, your half square triangles. The center is a square and a square, and build out. So again, quilters, think about this. You don't always have to make a 6-inch block with your 6-inch cube. You can build it out to a 12-inch block. I'm Pam from AccuQuilt, and we would love to see your finished projects. So follow us at AccuQuilt.com, go to our ideas page and post the projects you've made with your cube companion set, or you can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest. We're here to help you cut time so you can quilt more.